The concept of FlightBridgeED was sparked when a growing need and a dream united into an idea. That idea grew into a passion, and from passion came a global community of providers and students joining in the revolution of pre-hospital, critical care, and emergency medicine education. Now, from around the world, we are calling our community together. We are proud to announce the FlightBridgeED Air and Surface Transport Symposium in Nashville, Tennessee on March 20th and 21st, 2018. World-class speakers, vendors, and of course, the FlightBridgeED team will be there. Go to our website now to register. Join the revolution. The content of this podcast is based on medical fact and evidence-based practice from credible authoritative sources, but is not a substitute for your institution's policies, procedures, common sense, or good judgment. The views and opinions are those of Eric Bauer and FlightBridgeED in their entirety. This is the FlightBridgeED podcast, critical care and emergency medicine education for nurses and paramedics. Here's your host, Eric Bauer.
Hey everybody, Eric back with you. Today we have a special guest. I'm here with Ashley Liebig, and real excited to be able to take a few minutes. She was kind enough to take some time out of her day and join us and talk about FAST18. Welcome.
Oh, thanks. I'm so excited to chat with you. And more than that, it is just about a month away from FAST18. And dude, I am psyched to be there.
Well, this has been an amazing year to, reflect. And, when I first finally made the decision to do this, obviously putting on a conference is a very stressful thing. I know, you've helped in and established, SMAC and been so instrumental in their growth and the kind of the back channel stuff, not only, doing all that, but speaking and that it's just so time consuming. There's so many parts of a conference that you don't really realize until you jump into it. So it's been a learning experience for me, but I really feel like kind of a dream of mine is coming to fruition and excited to be able to have the speakers that we have. So it's pretty neat, very exciting. At the same time, I'm excited to have it get here and move on. So, and get the first one out of the way.
Absolutely. Well, I would say that for your first conference, this inaugural event is incredible. The speaker lineup is mind-boggling. I could not be more excited to come and hang out with a whole bunch of my nerd foam friends. So guys like Faizan Arshad and Ginger, Tyler Christofoli, all my POCUS buddies, Haf Kasim. I mean, the lineup is stupid. I'm so impressed that you've been able to bring together a bunch of my favorite people in the world. So I just could not be more excited about this event.
Well, I really appreciate it. I think that was the most amazing part of this is that, I first, decided to do this, and then I wanted to do something different. I didn't want the status quo conference. I wanted something to where it was, the top minds in the industry. I wanted a collective group of physicians, of paramedics, nurses, mid-level providers, just bring everybody together and really look at the most cutting edge concepts. Really didn't want to hold people back if the topic was going to be controversial. If, I don't really care, because I think we need to hear the other side. And I think a lot of times we're so worried about offending somebody. And I definitely don't want to offend anybody, but I think we have to be able to look at both sides of every topic objectively. And I think we need to hear some of this stuff, and some of it's going to be tough to hear. And for example, Howie Mell. I mean, let's just talk about that. He warned us. He said, can I talk about anything? And we said, absolutely. And he says, well, it's going to offend people. And we said, that's fine. Just as long as you're respectful, and, we need to hear both sides. And I think that that's amazing. So,
I have to say, I have to pause you there, Eric, because Howie Mell first of all, he's a wonderful human being. And, he's this guy that comes off as gruff and tough, and he really speaks his mind. But at the heart of hearts, he is a great, great man. And so I think that when Howie says he's going to upset some people, he's doing it in a way that at the end of the day, we know that these sort of challenges open our minds a little bit. And if we're open to the conversation, we're going to walk away from that better. We're going to learn from that. And Howie might have a position that we don't all agree with, and that's okay. And that's the beauty of this type of event where all these people can come together and have a conversation. We've started to get to such a point that we can no longer discuss things that we think are challenging topics, and we've gone away from talking about religion or politics or anything in the medical arena that we think might be a challenge. And that doesn't do anyone, certainly our patients, any service. So if we can have the hard conversations as friends, as colleagues, and agree to disagree on some things, and maybe even move to the other side once we get educated on some of these topics, I think the conversation is excellent. I particularly love that Jason Bowman is coming in with an extraordinarily challenging topic that is really probably going to upset some folks as well. And you know what? I think that's great. Let's get people talking. Let's get people engaged in debate and conversation. And as long as we can do that and invoke some emotion and have some passionate debates, we know we're still in the game. We know we still care. And I think that that's really an important part of what we do.
No, very well said. And I think when you look at the collective group of speakers, as I said, I didn't want to, we put out a call for speakers and abstracts, and, but I definitely had my list, and every one of these people on this list, I've been able to make friends with over the last 4 years with the FlightBridgeED podcast. And, you reach out to them. So I was able to email, text, and, every single person on here immediately said, absolutely. And that was a very humbling thing for me to know that I had that support and that they were there. Guys like Michael Loria and Abernathy, they wanted to be here, but they had other commitments already. And so, everybody was so kind to give of their time and to be part of this first event and have this level of speaking talent, just their knowledge, their perspective on medicine. And I think that goes into what you just said, that we could think we know something. We think that we may understand a concept, but until we have a really broad perspective, we really have no idea. And we have to be able to look at things from both angles and be objective. I mean, that's what medicine's about. You only know what you know. And so, that's where bringing all these people together from different backgrounds, different, areas of the world, country, based on what they do on an everyday basis. I'm so excited to be able to have this collective group of minds together in one place, and I think the attendees are going to really enjoy this. I can't stress it. If you're listening and you're on the fence of coming, you won't regret it.
Absolutely not. And really, I think that conferences need to go the way of interdisciplinary education. So we don't practice in silos. And so getting together everyone, nurses, paramedics, physicians, mid-levels, everyone together to practice in the same and learn in the same sort of environment that we practice in makes so much sense. It breaks down barriers, it increases communication. It's a powerful thing for team dynamic. And so there's no doubt in my mind that that's why so many folks were supportive. Their respect for you and what you're doing in this community, and your willingness to just come out and ask and take a chance and put together something that is really special. So kudos to you for that. So we're all pumped to be there.
Well, I appreciate it. It's scary. I think it's scary from the financial side. It's scary. You don't know if people are going to come, and the whole aspect of, getting everything set up, but you just have to have faith and just believe, and everything has worked out perfectly. So I'm very excited about that. why don't you talk about a little bit about your talk? I'm very excited to hear your talk, and you're going to be one of our keynotes, and you're going to actually close down the conference. So
Yeah, I can never decide if that's a compliment or or not.
absolutely it is. I think
I
you
love
put people in those positions because people look forward to hearing you, and yeah,
I hope
absolutely.
so. So the people that are listening right now, I hope that they're planning to stick around until the very end. But yes, I am probably more excited about this lecture than I have been about any that I've given to date. The reason is that the lecture is called The Patient Experience. And I am bringing one of my most special ever patients. In fact, my first trauma patient in the Army, Noah Galloway, along with me to give that lecture with me. And we've talked a lot about it, we've prepped for it, and we are really excited to share with you or with our audience the things that we think are important from the patient perspective. So I think people will learn a lot. I think that hopefully they will laugh a lot. There may even be a tear, but we are excited to give this lecture together. We've talked about it for years and years and have never gotten around to it. And so this opportunity presented in his schedule and mine that just married up perfectly. And so we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be really neat. And I know, following you on Twitter and seeing conversations, I know that this event, this experience in your life was something that has definitely moved you, and this is a very special friend. So it's exciting to be able to experience that together.
Yeah, we got to be friends after his injuries and stayed connected for a long time, and all our families are close, and so it's just been a tremendous experience in both of our lives to be able to reflect and know that probably one of the worst environments or experiences of our lives grew into this beautiful friendship that's lasted over a decade. So we are excited. He will no doubt try and show me up on stage. So we'll see. We both have a very competitive nature. So I think it'll be a really fun time for the audience.
Awesome. The conference is going to start off with a talk by somebody very special. It's his name's Edward Byers. He's a senior chief special warfare officer. He's still active, Navy SEAL, and he won the Congressional Medal of Honor in 2000 from an incident in 2012. And so he's going to speak on kind of that night, and kind of take the role and look from the leadership perspective, what he learned, and everything that kind of went into where he is now today. He chose to, after winning that amazing award, to stay on the team, in the teams, and still is, he just was deployed and just came back. And so I think that, his passion for staying with his guys is there. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, all the other facets of that we can learn from. It's definitely not an area that a lot of us have experienced. He's also a paramedic, so he's excited about actually attending the conference as well.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward to meeting him, and there's so many lessons to draw from that. And if you think about, that team dynamic and translate that to our work environments and what we do on a regular basis, that's something that we're always looking to achieve. So I'm really eager to meet him and hear what he has to say. I have to say, if folks are listening and they are not scheduled, doesn't matter what you have to do, call in sick, sell your smallest child, whatever it is. But come on, you should be there, because it's going to be a extraordinary event of a whole bunch of great friends, and we're always looking to add more.
Yeah, absolutely. And all this is all CAPC accredited. So whether you're a paramedic or a nurse, there'll be nursing hours. There'll be paramedic hours awarded, and it looks like it's going to be approximately 12 to 15 hours. And, so that definitely can add to your hours for the year. We always need those CEU hours. Let's just talk about real quick, just these different speakers, and kind of get your quick overview.
Sure.
Peter Antevi, Dan Davis, Dave Olvera. This is the first day. These are in the main general session. So I don't know if you've met any of those gentlemen.
Well, Dave, I have, and I love watching him speak. He's energetic and really fun and super wicked smart. And I'm surprised. Didn't he just have a baby or something? Or they're having more babies?
Yeah, but he has scheduled he's scheduled the C-section around FAST18.
Oh, very
seriously.
good.
Like he's told the doctor, we have to schedule it after FAST18.
Excellent. Well, we should send presents home to his wife. Yeah. So good on her.
That's funny. Peter Antevy is one of my close friends, and he's, just an amazing mind in pediatrics and really, changing the way we look at pediatric resuscitation. And he's got obviously the Antevy system. And so real excited to hear his talk and look at the whole paradigm shift in pediatric resuscitation and how he looks at that. And I've heard him, speak on a few topics related to System 1 and System 2 thinking and processing information. And so he has an amazing talk that kind of goes into all that. So real excited about that.
Excellent.
Dan Davis. Dan Davis is the chief, scientific advisor for Air Methods Corporation worldwide. And he's also our chief medical director for FlightBridgeED. And he's a brilliant, brilliant mind. He's doing a lot of stuff in cardiac arrest research. And so he's got some amazing talks, and he's a real great educator as well. And then we have our talks after lunch, and we have Ritu Sani, physician. We have again Dan Davis, Michael Frakes is coming. We've got Jason Bowman is coming, obviously.
Yeah.
We got James Boomhauer. I mean, so the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just amazing people. That's what I mean. Your lineup, it's going to be a real challenge to decide where you're going to go.
Yeah. And then the second day, it's the same thing. We got, Faison. He's such an amazing speaker. I love his how energetic he is.
Yes.
I think the thing I love about him is he makes you feel like you've known him for 20 years. You're the most important person he's ever met. Absolutely. He really makes you feel warm and welcome, and love it. Zaffer, amazing speaker. Yeah.
Jeez. And what a brilliant educator that guy.
Yeah.
Have had an opportunity to teach with him and out at Reanimate. And he's just so fantastic. He's written for St. Emlyn's for our blog, and is just a brilliant educator, a quiet and tremendously humble man. Yes. But he is great.
Yeah. And he came on our podcast, it's probably been 2.5 years ago, when he just had moved back from London, and he was in Delaware at the time, and we did a podcast on Raboa, and that was my first interaction with him. He actually, somebody set us up as far as contacts, and he was very, very open with his time, and we built a friendship that way. So excited that he's able to make it. And then after lunch, we have Alan Wolf. Alan Wolf, I've talked many times on the podcast. If there's one guy in the industry that has invested in me, it gets me emotional every time I can't stress how much he has done for me in just building me up and being that person, that mentor, which, a mentor is truly somebody that is not your fan, right? They're 90% of the time, they're going to tell you that you're being a pain in the ass, or that you're doing something wrong, or you need to fix something, and I can always count on him to give me an honest answer.
I'm really looking forward to meeting him, Eric. I have never met him. I mean, his name is everywhere, and I have never had the pleasure of meeting him. So I think that will be great if you can make sure that happens while we're there. I appreciate it. Yeah. I've always heard great things.
I love that man. I mean, he is, I would drop anything and be there to help him. He is truly amazing. And we got Tyler is speaking. Tyler is one of those up and coming guys that is so talented. He doesn't even realize how talented he is. And
oh no, he doesn't.
Oh no, he doesn't. And I try to tell him that, But
He is fantastic, and I've never seen him speak before, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love how nervous he gets. I think people think that that we all get out there and do this, and it's just super easy for us, right?
Yeah.
And it's not for most people, myself included. And so I love to tell Tyler, how great he is and how good he's going to be, and give him some tips and pointers and things like that. But man, he is something else. Those guys are really making their way and doing some amazing work over at Foam Frat.
No, I agree. We actually did a strategic partnership, announced that last month. I saw that. We were very like-minded, and I wanted to, they have Cynthia Griffin is doing stuff with them now. She's an amazing, educator. And the thing I love is I love these past nurses and paramedics that become physicians, because they have such a well-rounded understanding of what's going on. They really see things from all angles. And so I think that's amazing. I mean, we could go on and on with the people we have. I think the thing that I want to kind of close this, and I'll let you say some closing remarks, is for those of you that are on the fence, maybe it's financial, maybe, reach out to me. I'm here to help. I want people to hear this stuff. I want you to come away and think about, how can you change your local area, your local agency? What can you bring to your medical director? What types of things can you immediately apply to your patient care, right? It's all about patient care. And so until you experience and hear all these different speakers talk on these topics, and see such a well-rounded, objective view that you may not otherwise ever hear, you're not going to have a very broad perspective on medicine. And I think that's how you learn and grow. And you may come away on a topic that you looked at one way, and you leave the conference and you're completely 360 degrees the other side.
Absolutely.
So that's all I want to say, is just really consider the impact this could have on your career. This could just rejuvenate you. I hear that all the time with the podcast, is new podcast listeners. They're like, I'm just rejuvenated with medicine now. I want to learn. I'm excited again. And this could be that key.
I think that the tremendous thing about getting all of these people together in this big sort of family, that is connected through social media and has this foam common connection. And so getting all of these people together, you cannot overstate how important that sense of purpose is. And you're right. When you leave, if you do not feel renewed and reinvigorated and inspired, please let me know, because we failed you tremendously. I imagine that every single person here that will attend is going to walk away feeling one of those things. They've made a new friend. Someone that they can bounce ideas off of. They've been inspired by someone. They'll change their practice in some way, and sort of feel a sense of renewed purpose and commitment to medicine and to what we do for the patients that we care for. So I do hope that people will come, and we're getting in the last minute, but there is certainly opportunity to get some of those remaining tickets and get there, because do yourself a favor. You owe it to yourself. You work really hard, and you do great things for people. And so it's time for you to get to feel a sense of community from that.
Absolutely. Well said. Well, I surely appreciate that you taking time out of your day and spending the 20, 30 minutes with us. And, I'm looking forward to hearing you talk, and you get to meet my wife actually this weekend. We're coming down to do a course in your neighborhood.
Yes.
Asked us to come down there. And so very, very grateful that you have, allowed us to come down there and continue to put on courses in your area.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys, and we'll look forward to catching up. Thanks for having me, and we'll look forward to seeing all of your listeners in Nashville.
Absolutely. Well, guys, again, head to the website, www.FlightBridgeED.com, and you can go to the top of the banner, left side, FAST18. You can register, and feel free to email me at eric.bauer@flightbridgeed.com, and I will assist you in any way I can. And until next time, on behalf of Ashley, I will talk to you soon.
This has been a production of the FlightBridgeED podcast, leading the way in pre-hospital critical care and emergency medicine education.